Hey y'all, Heather Roberts here with RSG Sales, and today we are going to solve that age-old question of how do you get your return on investment with your e-commerce sales channel for all of those product-based businesses out there. So let's get started. All right, y'all. So what we're talking about today is the long game, that your real return on investment with your e-commerce sales channel is not a quick fix. And the way to do it correctly takes a little bit more time. So if you're new to seeing me, again, my name is Heather Roberts with RSG Sales. We help e-commerce product-based businesses grow their e-commerce sales channel. And if you want, you can subscribe right now if you're watching this on YouTube to our channel. Each week at Thursdays, today's Thursday, at 11 o'clock, I come on here live and kind of tell you a new aspect of what's going on in e-commerce. So as I mentioned before, today, it's all about the long game and how we get there. So right off the bat, let's jump in. There are three things that I notice that all product entrepreneurs face, and they have some of these, frustrations. And I want to just talk about, what those are really briefly. So they have a couple of frustrations. And the first one is it takes a long time to grow sales, and it can take a while, and they get frustrated at how long it takes. It's just Rome wasn't built in a night, and neither was your e-commerce sales channel. So it's going to take time, but that's okay. Just hold tight. I'm going to help you out here. The other thing they get frustrated with is that there are so many different ways that each internet retailer does business. It'd be so easy if they all had kind of the same format, but they don't. And so people get real frustrated because they have to learn so many new processes for each retailer. The other thing is it is a huge investment to do this. To have a product-based e-commerce business is a big investment. Not only are you paying for the inventory of your products, but you also have to have a place to store it. You have to have images. You have to have somebody who can fulfill the orders. You have to have product descriptions. You have to have accounting systems and all of these things. And that doesn't happen, on the cheap side. It takes a big investment. And so you have to be when you decide to jump in on this, you need to make sure that you're all in. You can't just be 1 foot in and be over here like, ooh, I don't know. So you have to be all in. And if, you're all in, you're going to be like so many of these other people who have things that they just want. They want life to be easy. They want it to be easy peasy, right? They want the sales channel to kind of run itself. And eventually you may get there. So it just takes time. The second thing everybody always wants, orders. Of course, that's the whole reason we're doing this, right? You want orders because you want money. You want to be able to have cash flow. You want to be able to have the lifestyle that you want. And the third thing that I'm going to give you a secret. Most people don't know they want, but they want consistency. They want predictable, reoccurring revenue. And you can get there in the e-commerce sales channel. So, like I just mentioned, the first thing that we want to focus on and dive into is you want to be able to set yourself up for predictable, reoccurring revenue. Well, and I know that a lot of people go, well, how do I do that? Well, first, it starts with making sure you understand the rules of engagement with your internet retailers. So Amazon is a marketplace, and marketplaces work very differently than the companies that are what we call direct suppliers. And a direct supplier is a company that works more on a B2B basis. So that's like an Overstock or a Wayfair or something like that. So we really just want to make sure you understand the rules of engagement so you can get to having that consistent, predictable sales. The other thing we like to make sure we focus on is scale. How do you have scale? Well, you need to make sure you've got your own internal systems in place, that you have the inventory to be able to sell to multiple retailers, that you have the team members that can process the orders, that you have people who can do the customer service end of it. The worst thing I've ever seen somebody do is when they just jump right in with both feet and they want to sell to like 20 different internet retailers. That is a disaster. That's like a recipe for disaster. You want to start small and you want to build up over time. Start with a couple, get your feet wet, understand how they work, and then add additional retailers. Finally, you want to make sure you have a whole streamlined system and process. Once you decide that you have a product you're going to sell, you want to be able to make sure that you have all of that information that's easy to access so that you can quickly onboard them with your retailers. And then you want to understand, well, what's the way that I can get five reviews the fastest, right? What does it take? Because 5, I hate to tell y'all, is kind of a magic number when you're just starting out. And the best way to do that is to get your product live quickly. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to make sure you understand how you can do promotions or paid advertising to boost your product up. Also, I'm going to give you a little insider pro tip. If you're at home, Wayfair will automatically lift your product in their algorithm if it's brand new 50%. So you already have a head start over other people when you are starting with a new product. If you want to keep building that momentum, you want to make sure you run some sponsored products, something like that. So it's, you want to streamline your system to get reviews as quickly as possible. So let's kind of recap a little bit here. We all know that it is a long game. Learning how to sell to e-commerce sales channel, you just can't wake up overnight and say, oh, I'm going to sell online. So one of the things you need to do is you need to make sure you have patience to be able to handle the long game. I'm going to be totally real with y'all. It really takes about 12 months. In 6 months, you're in a good spot. But it takes a full selling season to be able to really understand the rules of engagement. You need to understand how it works. The second thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we internally understand that each company has their own way of doing business and that we need to learn what those are. I'm going to give you another little secret. Y'all, you're not going to change the retailer. It may not be that every retailer is a good fit for you. That's okay. You don't have to be. But you need to make sure that the ones you work with fit you. So you need to really learn and understand how they work. Finally, I want you to make sure that you have plenty of capital. Because remember, it's going to take 6 months before you get to see some good revenue here. Yes, there are those unicorns out there that in 8 weeks they're selling $100,000 a month. That's not the norm. The norm is that it is a slow, steady build, and you need to make sure you've got the capital to keep those doors open. So on the flip side of this, we always want to make sure that we're being realistic in the expectations. And I want to make sure that we set some really quickly right now. First of all, the best way to do this is to start slowly and with simplicity. Make it elegant, y'all. I think simplicity is often underrated of how elegant it can be. And what I mean by that is in your e-commerce sales channel, you can have elegance by just starting with one account. Learn how that works. Start getting orders. Understand how they're promotions. And then add your second. And then add your third. And so forth and so on. We really feel that you shouldn't add more than one new account a month because you don't want them all to go live at the same time and you don't know how to fulfill orders or to keep the inventory in stock, let alone create an invoice or how I get paid and when I get paid and all of that. All of that can be so overwhelming. So make it easy, make it elegant, and make it simple. Do one thing at a time and do it well. And if you do that, then the orders will come. If you've got your great merchandising, if you have best in class merchandising, if you've got really good pricing and costs, and you're willing to promote or advertise, your orders are going to come. It's just a mere fact. It just takes a little bit of time. Let's erase this. It just takes a little bit of time. But when you are patient and you've really put your best foot forward and you've been intentional and purposeful, then you're going to get orders. And the good thing is, the more orders you get, the more that increases your rank as a brand, which increases the other products that you in the algorithm, and you get more clicks and more conversions and so forth and so on. So you want to make sure that you've been simple and elegant, and you're going to have had all of the best in class to set yourself up for success. And then when you do that, that's when you are going to have not this kind of sales, but you're going to have this kind of sales. Consistent growth, month after month, year after year. So, all right, y'all, if you have any questions, I would really love to hear them and talk to you. We also have a PDF of 11 things that you can do before going into the e-commerce sales channel so that you can set yourself up for success from the beginning. So if you're interested in a copy of that, I would highly encourage that you comment below long game, and we will get you a copy of that. And if you have any questions, I would love it if you would just put question below, or you can reach out and we can schedule a time for us to talk. Again, Heather Roberts, RSG Sales, and want to help you grow your e-commerce sales channel. All right, bye y'all, and I'll see you next week, Thursdays at 11 o'clock. All right, bye-bye.